Israel on high alert tonight. This after Iran launched a barrage of missiles over the cities of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, I should say, within seconds. The Iranian attack, a direct response to Israel's ground invasion of Lebanon. Dr. Tom Makaitis, terrorism expert and history professor at DePaul University, joins us live to discuss the new phase of this conflict. Tom, how are you?
Good evening.
First of all, how well did Israel's Iron Dome work against these strikes today?
Well, there are three levels of anti-aircraft system, anti-missile defense: Iron Dome, David's Sling, Arrow, and it seems to have worked pretty well. But the U.S. also helped shoot down some of the missiles. So did Jordan. We still don't have an accurate damage assessment. It said that, that 90% or most or almost all, we don't know yet. There's no report of mass casualties or widespread destruction, but then again, it's still pretty early.
They say they were trying to target the weapons where they were keeping their weapons there, but didn't exactly get there, did it?
It does not appear to be so, but again, the reports are still somewhat sketchy. But no, the system between us and the Israelis, the early detection and warning and the intercepting capability, they seem to have shot most of them down.
How different is this attack than the one in April?
Well, according to the preliminary reports, the weapons were a bit more sophisticated, and they described it as a more intense kind of an attack. Israel has said that they will not be as restrained in their response, which is very worrisome because that's an indication of significant escalation, which is the last thing we need given the circumstances.
Where does the United States stand in this?
Well, the U.S. has made clear that it will defend Israel, particularly in terms of from air attack by Iran. It's not going to get involved on the ground in Lebanon or support Israeli operations there, although they're using weapons that we've given them, particularly some of the 2,000-pound bombs. And of course, the Biden administration really would like some kind of a ceasefire, but given the closeness of the election, they're not about to pressure Israel. Netanyahu realizes that. So essentially, he's got a window of opportunity, and he seems to be using it to the fullest.
That was going to be my question. When you hear ceasefire from the administration, who is he talking to?
Well, right now it's become wishful thinking, but he's reaching out to Sinwar in Hamas, whoever the leadership of Hezbollah is now, and that's not clear, and then Iran, and also Israel as well. We did succeed during the April attack in getting Netanyahu and the Israelis to restrict it to a kind of a token attack to demonstrate they could hit near the nuclear reactor, but they settled for a kind of a pinprick attack to send a message. They also warned next time they might not be so restrained, and this appears to be next time. So we'll have to see. I suspect the response will be in the next day or so.
You think Israel will respond? How do you think they'll respond?
They'll definitely respond. That's a given. They'll respond with airstrikes directly on Iran. The only question is the degree to which they'll do it. How will they be very focused, very limited, or will they be pretty widespread? That's the part that is uncertain at this point.
So when does this end? Or does it end? Or are we talking about wider war?
Unfortunately, this is the latest phase in an ongoing cycle. We were here in 1982 with Operation Peace of Galilee and these long-term Israeli occupation. And there was another incursion in 2006, and here we go again. Until there is some kind of lasting peace, all you're going to do is see them temporarily degrade Hezbollah's capability, and in a few years we'll be back here again. There really is no substitute for some kind of lasting peace agreement, but that's not very likely at the moment, nor is it likely that there will be one in Gaza and that the hostages will be safely returned.
Is there a possibility with the new administration?
I think that's a real possibility. Vice President Harris has signaled her intent to unconditionally support Israel's right to exist. That's a given. But also to push, I think, a little bit harder. She hasn't quite said that, but that's how I read the tea leaves, for a two-state solution.
And Donald Trump could also win this election. So we're talking, what are the possibilities there?
No, none at all. He won't restrain Israel in the least. all the indications are he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He recognized their control of the Golan Heights. I don't look to him to exercise any restraint on Netanyahu at all.
Dr. Tom Makaitis, terrorism expert and history professor at DePaul University. Always appreciative of your help. Thanks.
Happy to do it. Have a nice evening.
You too.